Hello my friend, it is your brother Hampton from Hybrid Calisthenics. Welcome back to another episode of Coffee with Hampton, where I get to sit down and share my thoughts with you over a cup of coffee. Soon to be a podcast, so keep an eye out for that. Eye out? Ear out? Keep an ear out for that. Now my content is mostly about health and fitness and calisthenics, but I do get asked fairly often about my thoughts on dating, or how to find a girlfriend, or how to find a friend, or find companionship, and this is obviously a big issue for a lot of people. In fact, I covered this in an FAQ video a while ago, in which I think I promised that I would make a full video. My advice to my younger self, this is how I'm gonna frame the video where I eventually answer this, which is gonna be soon, probably next week. That wasn't that long ago, was it? It wasn't that long ago. I am filming this on St. Patrick's Day, so happy St. Patrick's Day to all. Unfortunately, I do not own any green clothing, so I try to bring the greenery to you, but if you want to pinch me, go ahead. Now, whenever I talk about subjects like this, I always feel compelled to bring up that I do not claim to be an expert on this topic at all. This is just a question that I get asked fairly often, and I want to provide my thoughts. I know I say that a lot, but there's always someone watching my video for the first time, so that's for them. But these videos are just about me addressing questions that I get asked and giving my 2 cents. Now, in my previous FAQ video, I say that my advice on getting a girlfriend to those that are asking is just to be a better person and to give to others without expecting anything in return. And that's really still my opinion. That's the advice I would give to my younger single self, and it's the advice I would give to my son or daughter. And if I were to expand upon that, I would just say that the reason I talk about being a better person, and I don't talk about dressing better or brushing your teeth, which you should do, but not just to get a girlfriend. The reason I say that is because I don't believe that we should act a certain way or do certain things for other people with the expectation that they have to adopt us as a friend or a companion. People ask me sometimes, I do so much for my friends, I do so much for other people, I give to them until it hurts, and all I ask is for them to be friends in return. Is that okay? And, you know, I don't mean to seem insensitive, but my real answer to that is no, because while you can be a good person, and it's okay to expect courtesy, and if someone's rude to you, you certainly don't have to hang around them. But the reason I would not say that it's okay to do a lot of things for someone and expect them to be your friend is because no one is obligated to be your friend. You could be a great person, but they just might not jive with you. Look at how many people don't like me. I don't know how many people know this because I don't say it that often, but my life's purpose right now, my proclaimed life's purpose, is to give to other people without expecting anything in return, and to serve other people. So that's what I do for my living and for my life. It's my main goal right now. And there are still plenty of people who don't like me. They might seem that they might think I'm pretentious, arrogant, or they just might not like my style. I'm not everyone's flavor of ice cream. You can be the best strawberry ice cream in the world, but some people prefer chocolate. And I just want to give an example because this concept is often misunderstood. When people hear me say that we can do nice things for people, but we shouldn't expect their friendship in return, it can seem confusing. So I want to give an example to frame it. Let's say you knew someone who was a coworker, an acquaintance, but not someone who you consider to be your friend. And you're getting off work and this person approaches you and says, I want to give you this sock. Yeah, not even a pair of socks, they give you a sock. And you're like, oh, thank you. Not only did this person give you a sock, they gave you their last sock, and they are in dire need of socks. They gave it to you like, oh man, I really can't afford to give away socks, but I just want to give you the sock. They don't even tell you this. They just give you the sock, and later on they tell you, man, I gave you that sock, but it's really rough. My feet are cold, and then they show you their feet. They're like, oh, they're all cracked and stuff. And they really gave you something you don't need. And then later on, they ask you for a favor. Can you drive me home? Can you drive me to work? Can you help me move? And you're like, well, no, I don't have time for that. And they're like, no, you do have time because I saw you hanging out with your other friends. You see where this is going? Because they gave you something that you don't need, or something you even really don't want, and it meant a lot to them, but it wasn't something that meant a lot to you. They're now expecting you to give them something in return. They're now expecting you to sacrifice in return. When we give without expecting anything in return, that's charity, that's kindness. When we give and claim that we don't want anything in return when we secretly do, that's manipulation. So I use this example because I think it's relatively difficult for people to understand why their friends aren't treating them well, but when they see it from this perspective, perhaps their friend's perspective, they might get a new light. Now that is an extreme example. You could have been a great friend. That coworker could have been your great friend, and he did need socks, and you gave him some great socks. And if he doesn't treat you well in return, If you're giving to someone that you do consider a friend, and you do think you're being a good friend, but they're not giving you enough in return, you don't have to be their friend. You don't have to stay around and wait for them to be better. They might not want to be your friend. And remember, that's okay. I am never saying that we have to let other people take advantage of us, that we have to sit here and let other people hurt us. They don't have to be our friend, but we also don't have to be their friend. When we give, it should feel light, free, and easy. And if it's not, if we don't like giving to someone, we can move on. Whoever you are, I guarantee you, there's someone out there that will appreciate you for who you are. And the reason I bring all of that up, the reason I'm bringing up friendship, is because my thoughts on finding a girlfriend are not that different from how to make friends. If we understand that we can't force someone to be our friend, why would we then think that we can somehow do things to make someone be our girlfriend, or romantic partner, or boyfriend, or whomever you're attracted to? The reason this video is framed towards girlfriends is because I've only dated girls, I've never dated guys. And the other thing is that there are so many different types of people out there. Some people, maybe most people, might care about you dressing well, you brushing your teeth, you eating well, you taking care of yourself, you being fit. But I guarantee you there are some people out there who don't care about any of that. So given that, I just wanted my input to be a little bit more universal. So to tie everything together, if we know that we can't force someone to be our friend, and we know we can't force someone to be our girlfriend or romantic partner, what can we do? Well, the thing I want to bring up, and it's important, is that we can still do things that we naturally want to do. We can still do things knowing that there might be a probable result. For example, if I decided that I want to sell clothing, which I do, if I were to sell this shirt, and I took a picture of this, and I made a YouTube post, and I said, if I've helped you out at all, please consider buying this shirt. It would really help support the brand. I know that I'll probably get one sale at least. I know it's probably going to make at least a few sales. But the crux, the important thing, in my opinion, is I cannot be upset. I cannot be crippled. And I certainly can't blame people if I don't make any shirt sales. If I just threw a tantrum and said, well, I've done all this stuff for other people, you won't even buy my clothing, that would seem very immature, wouldn't it? That would seem very wrong. Even just saying that made some people feel uncomfortable. And the second thing is, I just believe in doing things by example. I believe in leading by example, creating by example, and building a community and family and friend base by example. So that's why when I say to improve yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, just everything, if you do this while you give to other people, while expecting nothing in return, and you create all this opportunity and you help other people, hopefully, with some luck, you'll turn around one day and you'll find lots and lots of like-minded people, family, and friends. Some will be romantic interests, some will be business partners, and some will just be your friends. So I've already talked a lot, both in this video, the previous video, and just everywhere, about working on yourself and the value of giving to other people. But there is something that I didn't mention in my previous video about finding a girlfriend or finding friends, and that is opportunity. That is having the timing of having everything fit together. Because a question that some people often wonder, even if they don't ask, is what if I do all these things? What if I work on myself and I really do try to give to other people and I really try helping others, but I just don't have any friends, or I'm single, and what if I'm alone forever? And while I can't guarantee that won't happen, and it's usually the exception and not the rule, it's possible, right? It's possible. We've talked about how you can be a good person and you can do these things for other people, but they just really aren't interested in you as a friend or a lover. And that does happen. I don't mean to depress anyone, but I think some people that are in relationships or friendships just around shouldn't be. There are some people who married each other and had kids because they felt like this is something they should do, because society told them that they needed this to be normal. And some people are friends because they kind of grew up around each other and they call themselves friends, but I've seen how they interact and I don't know that they're friends. So just because someone seems to have more friends, someone seems to have more companionship, or someone is married in a relationship or has kids, it doesn't mean they're ahead of you. Because sometimes these people do these things to feel normal, but they often end up more miserable as a result. And my intent behind bringing that up isn't to say that life is all doom and gloom and even happy people are secretly unhappy. It's to say that you may not be behind even if you feel like you are. Some people in their 20s or 30s, their 40s, 50s, however old you are, they look at their friends and they think their friends have so much more than they do when they may not. Just like in fitness, in life, we all go at our own pace, so find that pace. And while yes, we can do good, we can sow good seeds, and life just gives us mud and nothing in return, it usually doesn't happen. And the thing is, bringing happiness to other people, doing good, can be really fun. It can be its own reward. It's really enjoyable. And with that, I'm going to sign off. The sun hasn't completely set, so I'm going to call this a victory. Have a wonderful, beautiful day.